See, Jesus himself said in Matthew 5 that he came not to destroy the law, but to fulfill it. What does fulfill mean? The Greek word pleroo means to complete, to accomplish, to carry through to the end. Jesus did not come to abolish the law. He came to satisfy it. Every feast day, every sacrifice, every ritual was a prophetic shadow that pointed to him. He is the Passover lamb. He is the bread from heaven. He is the high priest after the order of Melchizedek. He is the one who kept the law perfectly. And then he laid down his life for us, lawbreakers. Do you see the power of that? If the law pointed to Christ and Christ fulfilled the law, then what remains for us to fulfill? Nothing. That is why Paul said in Romans 10 that Christ is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believes. Do you understand? The law ends where faith in Christ begins. So then why do some still insist on going back to the law as if Jesus is not enough? Is it not? Was his blood not enough? Is he not enough? Is Jesus God? Yes, he is. What did he tell the Pharisees? Is his words not enough? Is it? Answer me. Is his words not enough? Is his salvation that he gives us not enough for what he shed on the cross? Now let us address the dangerous doctrine that these believers say you must keep the Torah to walk in obedience. The very idea is what Paul passionately rebuked in his letter to the Galatians. He said, "O foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you that you should not obey the truth?" He asked them. "Did you receive the Spirit by the works of the law or by hearing of faith?" And then he warned, "As many as are of the works of the law, you are now under a curse." Do you realize what Paul was saying? If you place yourself under the Torah, you're under curse. You're trying to justify what was made right through Jesus' blood on the cross. If you're stepping into part of the law, you're guilty of all of it. So ask yourself, have you kept every law perfectly without fail? No, because no one did except Jesus. No one could except Jesus. Because the law was not designed to be perfect by man. It was designed to illuminate our sin and point the way to Jesus Christ. If you are not keeping the law perfectly, but you want to honor it, if you're not keeping it, then you are under judgment, not blessing. Because when you try to be justified through keeping the old law, that's what happens. Paul continues to say that Christ has redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. That means to go back to the law is to trample on what Christ has already redeemed you from. So let us also examine what the early church decided regarding the Torah observance. So in Acts 15, the apostles and the elders gathered at the council to settle this serious issue. They asked, should Gentile believers be required to keep the law of Moses, including circumcision? And after the testimony from Peter and Paul, James concluded that they should not trouble the Gentiles with keeping the law. Instead, they gave only 4 instructions regarding idolatry, sexual immorality, and dietary blood laws. But nowhere did they command Sabbath keeping, feast observance, circumcision. If Torah observance was essential, why would the apostles have left it out? This was their moment to lay it down on the foundation, but they did not, because Christ had fulfilled it. Do you see what I'm putting down? The new covenant is not a continuation of the old. It is a replacement, something new, something better. Hebrew 8 said, it is said that the new covenant, he had made the first one obsolete. There was a new promise made. I just want to make sure you guys don't have any questions, because there are questions.